Hi friends, welcome back with new amazing video from Top Movies Recap. Today, I'm going to recap a 2021 thriller and horror film titled Don't Breathe 2 spoiler warning. Watch out and take care. We see a house on fire with a girl wandering down the street and passing out near the beginning of the film. But we will understand why later because we are now 8 years in the future and the girl is fleeing from the best character in the previous film. Yes, the Rottweiler who pursues her for a while and though. The blind man snatches the girl and pulls out a gun, telling her she failed the test because her name is most likely Phoenix. They were practicing survival methods or anything along those lines because she is his daughter. The house where they live burned down a few years ago, killing her mother and losing all of their photographs and memories, which is an important aspect of this story. We've met a lot of wonderful people, but this is by far the most heartbreaking story we've ever heard. Oh, and the daughter has a strand of white hair and is always singing an awful song that her mother used to sing to her when she was a child. The blind man refuses to let her travel to the city because he believes it is too dangerous, but one day he lets her go with a family friend named Hernandez, and they go for a walk and leave flowers at her mother's house, but she begins to hear unusual noises. After learning that a fugitive surgeon in town is wanted for child organ trafficking, Phoenix fantasizes about living and playing with orphan youngsters. As she approaches the restroom, a weird man named Raylan appears and initially refuses to let her leave. The best character in the film then appears, and they both depart, but a strange man in a car with a cooler pursues her. After putting Phoenix off at her house, Hernandez encounters these strange folks who appear to be a little crazy because they were in Iraq, and even though it appears like they are going to let her go and Hernandez is about to call the cops, the worst happens. Because while Phoenix and her father are discussing how she wants to attend a normal school, someone tries to shoot the best character in the film, and on top of that, all the bad guys show up at the house's door, and the blind man opens the door to feed the dog. But it isn't there, and it hasn't eaten the food from before, and on top of that, the guys broke into the house. Anyway, it doesn't matter that strange people have gotten into the house or that the girl needs to run. What counts is that the blind guy finds Shadow, and that the film's best character is slain, which signifies war. Phoenix, meantime, is preparing to depart the house when the blind guy appears, giving her ample time to hide in a basement safe. A blonde comes in looking for the blind man and accidentally puts glue in his mouth, but his brother saves him and the two of them go looking for the blind man. Meanwhile, one of the bad guys starts filling the box with water and grabbing a wire to electrocute the girl, prompting the blind man to come and battle them. The girl survives and the two of them hide in a greenhouse, but Raylan begins to speak to her, advising her that the man standing next to her should be feared, and then the blind man appears. Raylan shows him a strand of white hair after he is knocked in the head. Because he's her biological father, I can't believe what I'm seeing. A fire broke out at her home a few years ago and the authorities put it on him. He was in prison for 8 years and the elderly man found her and looked after her during that period. I'm not sure how the old man manages to escape as the thugs are going to kill him. Then he kills the blonde dude and they return to the house, where Raylan sends his dog after the girl, who hides in a room, escapes through the window, and is caught by the bad guys, while the blind man is attacked by the dog, and despite his ability to kill it, he doesn't and ends up controlling it like Caesar Milan, while Raylan grabs a bunch of Molotov cocktails from the cooler. Despite the fact that the bald man informs him that his dog is inside, Raylan seems indifferent about the dog's well-being, declaring that it is most likely already dead and setting the home on fire. The bald man appears to be a good guy, yet everything is a little weird. In this film, it's tough to identify who the good guys are, but the group manages to flee and the blind man is set free. After the dog, because that's what a guy does, jumps out of a window and flees the blazing house, Raylan and the rest of the team flee to an abandoned hotel nearby with the girl and the rest of the team. They talk for some time and he tells her mom's name and that she has no kin, and that all that the man told her was bogus and that she is presently allowed to do anything she desires. So the young lady snatches her things and leaves, yet there are a lot of peculiar individuals in the inn, and there's this person who was on the news needed for organ dealing and kidnapping on the run, yet similarly, as she's going to leave, somebody seems singing that tune all along. They began taking a gander at family photographs when they saw her mom was screwed up. Are you alright? Yes. This is solid golf blood? No. It's not actually beneficial to hack blood in light of the fact that the fire consumed her from within in light of the fact that the storm cellar contained a medication kitchen, as per reports. In the gang's headquarters, Phoenix's father reveals that her real name is Tara, and she is then introduced to her mother, who is alive but seriously ill. Tara's mother claims that she made a mistake 8 years ago when preparing a batch of meth, which resulted in the explosion. The poisons unleashed by the fire injured her internal organs, resulting in her current condition. The gathering then, at that point, uncovers that Tara was captured so a criminal specialist could win her love and relocate it into her mom, as Tara is her main family. Tara is medicated and taken to a shoddy working room, where the specialist says that on the grounds that in the absence of reasonable hardware, he should eliminate Tara's heart while she is as yet mindful. Due to a blackout, the surgeon is unable to recover the heart. Raoul and the rest of Tara's team are sent to investigate the basement. They are attacked and killed one by Norman. As the last man standing, Raoul refuses to participate in Tara's murder and joins Norman, pointing him to her location. Norman ambushes the group, murdering the surgeon first. He and his father get into an argument, and the father mistakenly kills Tara's mother. The father's eyes are subsequently gouged out and Norman abandons him. He lets the visually impaired man know that they will kill the young lady, lets him know where to search for her, and lets him lives. Raylan, the lady, and the specialist escape with the young lady. However, the specialist doesn't on the grounds that he gets the hellfire out of there at a certain point. In any event, the blind man shoots him before he can get too far. The blind man and Raylan then have a final fight after he takes some gas cans. Regardless, the mother dies and the girl is unharmed despite falling into the pool. However, when she approaches the blind man, he cautions her to go since what Raylan said was correct, and that he is a monster for everything he has done throughout his life. But suddenly Raylan, who looks to still be alive, emerges and stabs him, and Phoenix murders her biological father, despite her desire to save the blind man. Norman is surprised and stabbed in the stomach by his father, who had survived the struggle. Tara kills him with a knife before he can finish him off. Tara tries to rescue Norman and assures him she can save him, but he responds, "You already have," and then dies. Tara checks out of the motel and heads to the shelter she saw at the start of the movie. At the point when the adventure's hero passes on, the young lady travels alone to the halfway house where she used to reside with a great deal of companions and had the option to defeat every last bit of her youth injuries. She moves toward a gathering of youngsters who are playing and presents herself as Phoenix. We hope you enjoyed our video from today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to receive notifications of new and interesting videos.